Let's read this first story from the Buffalo News. Authorities investigating if retired federal agent knew of Buffalo mass shooting plans in advance. They're actually wondering if this dude should be charged as an accomplice. What they're basically saying is that in this I think it was in the Discord, that I'm spelling it wrong. Here we go. The perpetrator shared the information with 6 individuals, one of which was a retired federal agent. They say agents from the FBI are in the process of tracking down and interviewing the 6 people, including the retired agent, and attempting to determine if any of them should be charged as accomplices. The 2 sources with close knowledge of the probe told the Buffalo News. The 2 sources did not identify the agent by name and could not confirm what agency he worked for. I just got to start off by saying sometimes there are racist former federal agents. Sometimes people who are criminals work for different departments, or maybe this guy was in a Discord and did not see any of this information, and that's why he didn't report it. We don't know. But the reason I want to lead with this is because there's a lot of questions around all of these. It's becoming particularly prominent to see on Twitter and other platforms where people are questioning how these things can actually happen. Like, how is it, with Uvalde, a guy 2 days after his 18th birthday gets one of the best, most expensive rifles possible? What was his training? How could he have afforded it? He was being made fun of for being, poor. Now all of a sudden, so people question this stuff. I think there are simple solutions, simple answers to a lot of these things, but I do think we could not debunk that truly and honestly. We can cast doubt onto these theories. But I think it's interesting. So I don't know. What do you guys think about this? The potential federal agent. I should ask you, Brian, as you are former Fed. Maybe current.
Did you just say current Fed? Yeah, got it. All right. Yeah, look, there are bad apples in every bunch, aren't there? And whether this guy was knowledgeable and actually ignored his own training, which is these folks, especially bureau guys, they know absolutely the signs, the flags, and when and where to report those. So he should have a very special, sensitive tripwire is the point. And the fact that he didn't do what he should have is really odd and frankly disconcerting because it doesn't make sense.
Interesting. Some people were, so I can't confirm a lot of what people are posting in these stories, but some people are saying that apparently these guys might have been in Uvalde and in Buffalo in the same discords, or that the people egging them on may have been in the same discords.
I don't know. If you go back all the way to Columbine and you look at the investigation into that, even Dylan Klebold, I think his name was, I forget.
Klebold.
Klebold,
yeah.
Thank you. But even his family said, he spent a lot of time in the garage. We always heard these loud noises. He was always blowing things up. This is kind of similar in the sense that there are a lot of warning signs, right? Like clearly he's telling people, just like the guy in Texas, told people. He told that girl who he tagged on social media in LA, like, I'm going to do this. If that isn't a sign that there is some clear mental problem, that there's this very blatant cry for help. There's almost the desire to attract attention before the fact.
And I think right now the conversation, as it should be, is what else can we do? But I think what we're starting to see now is, well, actually, there really isn't a need necessarily for more laws or more sort of bureaucratic steps. It's just actually to execute what the things that we were supposed to do more thoughtfully, more consistently, whether it's at the schools, making sure doors are shut for peak's sake. If you're a parent or you're a loved one or you're a neighbor and you start seeing this stuff, raise the flag. Do the things that we all know that work, right? So I don't know in this case, as we learn more, that we really should have an additional layer of laws or whatnot. It's really just making sure that what we do and have on the books, just execute that more thoughtfully, more consistently.
Yeah.
And I'll tell you that this issue of training, that's one that I think is really odd on this with this fellow, because he was so young. He just got this gun. It's not a light weapon to work with. So some degree of training, exposure, where did he get that? That's one of the things that I have been looking at and looking for.